Welcome to the Strength and Leadership Podcast. My name is Chris Jones, and I'm the pastor of Hope Community Church. And my hope is that these conversations would strengthen you as a leader. So today we're going to talk about doing one thing at a time, which I know for leaders is a little bit tough. We're multitaskers, all those things. But I want to specifically talk about one thing at a time as far as solving things or fixing things or trying to figure out what to fix. And I have a little bit of background and working on cars, and it's a hobby of mine. And there's a saying in the car repair industry, part swappers. And in the definition of that, the explanation of that is really people that don't know really what went wrong. They just know there's something wrong with this system, so they just start replacing parts, hoping they get lucky. And what you find is a lot of leaders do the same thing. They really don't understand the system. They really don't understand what's going on. They just start making changes and hoping that one of those changes lands on something. And really what happens when you do those type of things is it's very detrimental to the organization, to the church, to individuals, to teams. And so I want to talk to you today about really honing in on and understanding the system and knowing what to fix, knowing what to replace. So when we do change, I'm of the opinion that it should be specific, that if we're going to fix something, that it should be a specific thing that we can explain. This is why we're changing this. And so we need to start out by asking the question, well, what do I need to know before I can make the change? And so many times we just look at something that's broke and we go, well, just change that, change that, change that. And it just ends up being chaotic. So do I have a full understanding of what's going on, or does somebody that I can talk to have a full understanding of what's going on, of how the system works? This thing's connected to this thing, and then this thing's not working. Well, tell me, what are the options here? Tell me how we've reduced it down. And so really understanding what's going on. And that's not a call for every leader to understand every system in the organization or everything that's going on in the church, but you have to be connected to the people that do understand. And somebody has to know how the thing works. So get a clear understanding of the issue. What's not working? Is it an equipment problem? Is it a volunteer problem? Is it an employee problem? Is it a philosophy problem? Is it a work ethic problem? So clear understanding of the issue. What's not working, or what is it that needs improvement? And it keeps us, when we do that analyzation, it keeps us from just swapping parts. So I like to use deductive reasoning. I like to work backwards on things. Well, I know this is working. I know this is working. I understand the system. Now I can work backwards through that system and figure out where the thing is broken. So we troubleshoot the issue by working backwards. And then we know what questions to ask. We can start off at the place where it works, or at the place where we know things are right, and start working backwards to figure out what went wrong. So one of the things that I'm adamant about is never making two changes, or never replacing two things at the same time. When you're in the video world, audio world, car world, anything like that, where you're connecting things together, if you make two adjustments in the settings, if you replace two cables, if you replace two parts, before you're sure about what is actually broken, then you can't go back and tell which thing fixed it. If you replace two things at the same time, you can't tell which one was the actual solution. So the next time something happens, you really still don't understand what's going on. So this is really, really important, because when the pressure's on, we're tempted just to, we'll just change everything. And that's really not a great mentality. People get nervous around you when you start doing that. So really settle in, calm down, understand the system, and commit to changing one thing at a time, systematically, until you come to a solution. So if I make this adjustment, if I change this setting and it doesn't work, I can change that setting back. And what happens with people is they make so many changes at the same time that number one, they don't know if it did correct it. They don't know what corrected it. And then number two, if it didn't correct it, they don't know how to go back. We've made so many changes that we can't go back. And so this is really, really important to slow down and make one change at a time when we're trying to fix something. So we can wear people out with this. And I've seen so many pastors, so many organizations just change things and really never understand. And it ends up just exhausting people. Nobody can catch up. So change that is methodical and reasoned is always better accepted. And for a leader, being able to explain, hey, this is what it's going to take to fix this. This is what it's going to take to fix this. I can explain that. I can get buy-in for that. It's hard to get buy-in when you're looking across the table and going, I don't know, man, we're going to change 3 or 4 things and hope they work. But when we can narrow it down, have proof of this is the issue, and we're confident about that change, then you can get more buy-in. So then when there's more people that understand the process and are equipped to do that, then the whole thing becomes a lot easier. Then you can get buy-in on a much broader basis. So I want to encourage you today, if there's something not working in your organization, in your life, on your car, don't just be a part swapper. Figure out how the system works. Go to somebody that knows how the system works. Use deductive reasoning. Slow down. Walk through the process and change one thing at a time. Be confident about the things you're changing. Do it one at a time. And that way you can understand what worked and what didn't work in the process of coming to a solution. And so this is really important when you're fixing a car, and it's really important when you're fixing things in an organization or a church. So I just want to encourage you today to slow down a little bit, do one thing at a time, and really understand the changes that you're making. I hope this helps strengthen your leadership. We'll see you back here next time.